Hello, welcome to Big W BBQ. My name is Nate. Today we're going to be putting together some pulled pork tacos. This past weekend we had an awesome opportunity to celebrate my daughter's first birthday party. One of the main courses we served was pulled pork. If you're anything like me, one of the challenges when you have a party is how much meat do you cook. Oftentimes I end up cooking a little bit too much meat. That's probably a better problem than having not enough. One of the things that I'm always trying to find are different ways to use up the leftover pulled pork. So I know that there are many different ways to reuse pulled pork. You can make a pizza, you can do tacos, quesadillas. I mean, there's all sorts of different ways. For this particular video, I'm going to show you how I make my pulled pork tacos. Before I dive into this video, I'm very curious to hear from you guys on different alternatives on how I can use this pulled pork. If you happen to be a creator as well, feel free to put a link to one of your videos down below in the comments. So let's go ahead and get right into this cook. For this particular video today, I didn't want to go out and just buy any old tortilla shell. Instead, I wanted to bring you guys along on how you can whip up a quick recipe to make your own homemade tortillas. Before I share this recipe, I just want to make a quick disclaimer in saying that I'm not an expert with making tortillas. However, by creating your own tortilla, you get a little bit different experience. It kind of feels a little more authentic. So the first thing we've got here is 2 cups of all-purpose flour. And then we're going to go ahead and add a ½ teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon baking powder. Then we're going to go ahead and mix these dry ingredients together. Then you're going to go ahead and add 1 tablespoon of lard to the dry ingredients. Then you can just go ahead and mix this up with your hands. Once you kind of got that all nice and incorporated, then you're going to want to get about 3/4 cup of warm water. My first tip here is you're going to want to make sure that that water is nice and warm. It seems to be that the warmer the water, the less elastic that your dough will be, which in the end will make rolling these out a little bit easier. You may have to tweak this a little bit, add a little more flour or water until you kind of get a nice consistency. You're kind of looking for a drier consistency where it's not sticking to your fingers, but yet it's still very moist. Once you've got the consistency that you're looking for, go ahead and sprinkle out a little more flour on your countertop. Then we're just going to go ahead and knead this for a couple minutes. After that, you're going to go ahead and divide this dough into 12 equal proportions. There's no need on getting too caught up on the proportion size. We're just trying to get a size of about a golf ball here. This is going to yield us a nice personal size tortilla, probably around 6 inches in diameter. After that, go ahead and add a little more flour to your counter, and we're going to go ahead and roll these out with a rolling pin. You probably have to experiment a little bit with the thickness of your tortilla. The thinner you are, the drier it's going to be. From there, we're going to go ahead and heat up a pan on medium heat. Now you can just go ahead and toss this tortilla right on the bare pan, or you can go ahead and use some cooking oil if you'd like. I found the first one did fine without anything. However, as I kept cooking them, I found the cooking oil just to help a little bit with the stickiness. You're gonna go ahead and let this cook for about a minute, minute and a half on each side. That's kind of how far I like to cook it there. A little bit of flexibility left in your tortilla. It's not too dry, but yet it's still cooked all the way through. All right, now I've got the tortillas all shored up, let's go ahead and start building this taco. So go ahead and grab your first shell here. What I'm gonna do first is I'm gonna go ahead and do a light layer of barbecue sauce. And the first ingredient here, I'm going to go ahead and add my pulled pork. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of cheddar jack cheese, add a few tomatoes, add a few red onions. Then I've got a little bit of some chopped cilantro. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and squeeze a little bit of lime. Perfect, nothing too fancy. We've got a lot of different flavors here, a lot of good color. This is going to be a good taco. Now before I take a sample of this, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the same steps on my second tortilla. We're all set. Let's go ahead and try this out. The tortillas are nice and moist still. It kind of gives it just a nice, almost a restaurant feel to it instead of your store-bought tortilla. You know, you kind of get that pulled pork sandwich flavor that you would normally get in a bun in a tortilla. If you've got a lot of extra pulled pork left over, I would definitely recommend this recipe. It's a nice variation instead of having to eat pulled pork sandwiches every night. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm definitely curious on hearing your thoughts on different variations on how I can use up the remaining pulled pork I have from my party. Thanks again guys for hanging out with me here today. I hope that you have a terrific rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.